Page, your guide through mass media communication. Welcome to week 4. This week we'll be looking at the mass media of television and internet media. There are many ways to get the word out about a business. This week I have the pleasure to interview a photographer who uses the internet media of social media to advertise his business. Please help me in welcoming Nathan Gilmore. Thank you for joining us, Nathan. My first question, as a photographer, what do you do every day?
Sometimes I'm shooting, sometimes I'm in here editing, sometimes I'm in here replying to emails or messages on social media. Sometimes I'm just on my phone out and about at the grocery store responding to the same thing. Sometimes I'm laying in bed, not being able to fall asleep and doing those same things. So something is usually happening throughout any given day. That doesn't mean that I'm working 8 hours every day or 10 hours every day, or sometimes it's 2 hours. Sometimes it's, 20-minute segments 14 times a day. It's kind of all over the place, and kind of fine tuning that to some kind of a schedule so that you can have a family life, or even a crazy every once in a while, a personal life, do things for yourself. It's a struggle, especially starting out, for sure.
I can imagine. What inspired you to get into photography? How did you get started?
So I've been a little bit all over the place, but with the job I had before this, I worked at Children's Mercy. My wife also worked at Children's Mercy. Our goal was to go become nurses. We applied to nursing school. I didn't get in. She did. And I was like, well, I've always enjoyed photography. I've got to drop down my hours at the hospital anyway, so I'll just start pursuing a little bit of photography, maybe get some supplemental income. I needed something where I'd be gone for a little bit and at home for a long time. Because we had kids, not just because she was going into nursing school, but we had kids, so I couldn't be gone while she was gone as well. With the income I was making at the time, it made way more sense for me to watch our kids than to pay someone else to watch our kids. So it really I got really lucky with some really awesome clients, and a lot of trial and error and a lot of mistakes, but continuing growth. I would say mistakes are okay as long as you learn from them, to a certain extent, obviously. But literally within 6 months of that was back in 2015, and within 6 months it was my full-time job. I still had a part-time job, but this was very much full-time, more than full-time. And then I did that. And after 2 years of kind of juggling that, I had to say goodbye to Children's Mercy, which I was very sad about, but it was plenty in itself just to keep up with photography. So, yeah.
What are some projects you're working on right now? Could you walk us through what you do, like shooting something and then editing?
Yeah. So I do pretty much everything. If it's family, newborn, maternity, engagement, senior, wedding, all that kind of stuff. Cake smashes, those are fun too. But I go through, they pay for it, I book it, I send them a contract. That's a very important thing, get contracts. But so I do the shoot, I come home, always back up my images. Then I used to just edit them and they got the ones that I thought was best. That's recently changed. I think it was end of 2018, where I actually will send them a gallery and an image that never failed. An image that I almost didn't send because I didn't really like it was their profile picture. And I'm like, okay, well, clearly I have very different tastes because, as a photographer, you're going to see photos differently than a client is. So started having them choose them. Then I go through and edit them and then send them to them, send the photos to them. It's all digital, so it's through a website called Shootproof, which is awesome. That's what all my contacts. They're not paying me to say that, so whatever. But yeah, they should pay me to say that. But yeah, and then they get them and they can do what they wish with them. If they want to make purchases for prints through me, they can, but they don't have to. I always tell them that's very non-obligational. A lot of photographers charge less for a shoot, but force them to buy prints, and that's okay. I'm not saying that's the wrong way to do things. That's just not how I decided to do it. I very rarely print photos. So I would rather give them an option. If you want to, yeah, cool. If you can do it through me, sweet. But I make like 25 cents. I keep it cost effective. So it's not the bread and butter of the business. So yeah.
What are some ways that you advertise your media? Do you use different types of social media to advertise?
Yeah, so social media is huge. I advertise, so anytime I'm posting a picture, it's some kind of advertising. My biggest way of advertising, in backstep, I only pay for advertising once a year. That's specifically to try to seek out newly engaged couples, and that's right around Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. That's when a lot of engagements happen. So I don't go big on it. I maybe spend $100 within that time frame just to get a post that I like, some more traffic and stuff like that. That is not the best way that I have found to get clients, get followers, and the final goal is to get money from that kind of stuff. The best way to make money is to give away free stuff, and that sounds really, really weird. But I literally just did, I just posted it before we did this meeting, a giveaway. So the first prize is a free shoot, 100% free. Second prize is $100 off, and third prize is $50 off. Sometimes they have a time frame that it's not like good forever. So sometimes they don't get that booked. So I don't even give away free stuff. I try to give it away, but they didn't book it. So, hey, sorry, I offer a discount just because I'm a nice person, but they didn't do what they needed to do. But also within that, in the contract, they have to post one photo and do one shout out on their story telling people to go check it out. So I'm giving away a free session instead of paying for advertising, and they're advertising to people that I wouldn't reach from me just posting something. So, it's a different person. In the very beginning, I did it a lot. I did like every other month I was doing a giveaway, but I was just like, come follow my, anybody do it. Now I do it maybe twice a year, maybe. So it's just, if things are starting to slow down a little bit, it's like, okay, yeah, cool. Let's do a summer giveaway. Let's do something. I've got some availability. If it's crazy busy, nope, we're not doing a giveaway right now because I can't give away any more of my time because I'm slammed. But that kind of thing is huge. I'm also starting to do, I have some coming up, some styled like wedding shoots. So makeup artists and venues and photographers and dress boutiques. I was like, what do I call that? Dress places? No, dress boutiques and places like that will get together and like make a mock wedding. And so it's free advertising. I mean, you're doing the work. So like, someone's making a cake, someone's laying out decorations, a venue's opening up their space, a photographer's giving their time on editing, all that kind of stuff. But everybody that's involved in that is then advertising that work and also tagging everyone that's involved. So if someone's like, oh, I love that photo. Who's that photographer? Cool, let's go follow them. Ooh, I love that dress. Where'd they get that? Okay, we can go follow them. So that's become a really popular thing as well. I just haven't gotten into it just because I don't have a lot of free time to give up to that kind of stuff. But I think it would be good for a business to do that. So I'm trying to get into some more of that.
How do you think this business will change in like 10 to 15 years?
So I think cameras will get smarter. Higher level cameras will get cheaper. And so I think that the market will get flooded with a whole bunch of, it's already flooded. There are a lot of photographers out there, some good, some bad, some decent. There are some great photographers that probably aren't charging enough. There's some not so great photographers that are charging too much. And then there's people who are, charging a pretty good amount. But I think that the demand for photographers and the amount of money that people will pay a photographer is, just like anything else, going to continue to increase. But at the same time, the number of photographers or wannabe photographers are going to increase as well. The cheaper cameras get, the more people can buy them, and kind of go with that. So a lot of it is you're trying to get people to understand that they should pay you $2,500 to shoot their wedding when you have Sally over here, she will shoot it for $500. So not saying that no one should book Sally, because someone should. Someone booked me when I was $500. But trying to figure out where marketing and pricing and all of that is a very difficult side of the job. So yeah, I think all of that will change significantly. And also when social media changes, like Instagram wasn't a thing and it was all Facebook, and now Facebook's for old people and Instagram's where all the cool kids are. So, whenever the next thing comes up, and again, maybe it's Twitter, but I'm not cool. But, whenever that comes, I think that's going to change a lot of things because so many people have invested in Instagram and now look how many followers I have. That's going to be a huge game changer whenever I mean, it's not Snapchat, but I'm just saying whenever the next social media platform like Facebook or Instagram comes out. Anytime I try to reach a senior in high school to do senior pictures, I'm like, hey, do you have Facebook? And I'm like, no, that's for old people. And I'm like, well, those old people are paying for your photos, so I need to reach them as well. So make sure you have both. It might be for old people, but old people have money too, and they need pictures too, or whatever business you guys are doing, I guess.
Do you think the business will change? Like, I have a friend who's starting to mash up with like a videographer, so someone that'll shoot the wedding, the video, and then they're working beside a photographer. And I thought that was really different. And do you think that's something you've heard of that might change and more?
I'm actually in the middle of doing that right now. So not trying to just advertise for myself, but my company name is called NKG Imagery. It was supposed to be Nathan and Kelsey. I'm Nathan, my wife's Kelsey, last name Gilmore. Imagery. And I was like, maybe we should just be photography and switch it, but I kept it imagery because I wanted to be able to offer video at some point, and maybe a wedding coordinator, and maybe so. There are a lot of people that go with their names. I kept mine as initials. My wife never ended up doing anything with it, but now my little brother is getting into videography, and his name's Corey with a K. So I'm like, hey, my business name can make sense finally. Cool. But yeah, I think places that can offer that, it's anybody that's a photographer is booked very, very early on. I would say venue and photographer are your top two things that are booked across the board. I mean, everyone might have an idea of the, DJ they want because they liked them at this wedding, or a dress that they want, or a florist. And I'm not saying that no one could ever book those things first, but typically those are your top two things booked. And so they're going to ask those people, hey, do you have a videographer? Hey, do you have a hair and makeup artist? Hey, do you have a DJ? And so having a list of references is nice, but being able to say, actually, I have all that in-house. Here are these two DJs that work for me and can do that. Here's this makeup artist and maybe they're not NKG Imagery's employees, but I subcontract that out. And not to make an arm and a leg off of them, but to just be able to say, hey, here are people that I enjoy working with, that make my life easier, that I know do good work, that I don't have to worry about them whining and complaining or showing up late or messing something up, because I know they're professional. So, I don't know if I'll mark up the price, or I'll just say, hey, here it is, just because I want you to get taken care of, and getting you taken care of also takes care of me. So, knowing that they're on time and they're less stressed makes my life way easier. Yeah, so I think that will definitely be something that happens more and more.
So what advice would you give to students who are thinking about getting into the field of photography?
And start shooting in manual mode. Do not let your camera decide what to do. It evaluates the lighting, kind of finds the happy medium. A big thing is buying lenses that have like a 1.8 or a 1.2 or a 1.4. Don't buy anything that's above a 2.8. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but like this is 135 millimeter 1.8, making sure which one it was. So that's what's going to give you that blur in the background. That's your aperture. So there's three parts of photography. I won't go too crazy into it, but there's three parts of photography when you're shooting in manual mode: your shutter speed, your aperture, and your ISO. And those all work together to how much light is coming in, how much light is, I call it, going through the tunnel of the aperture, and how sensitive your sensor is to the light coming into it. It's really confusing at first. Don't freak out about that. Don't get discouraged. It's kind of like riding a bike, and now like I don't even think about it. I take a picture, I'm like, whoop, too dark, turn it down, here we go. Whoop, too bright, turn it up. Here, like it's very second nature. Just the more you can do it, the more confident you're going to be in it. But yeah, get out, shoot it. Don't run and book a wedding. Just take pictures take your animals, take a dog outside and take pictures of it in the backyard. Go to a park, go to a dog park and just take pictures. If you've got family or friends, there's a bunch of aspiring models out there that are just like, someone take my photos. I'll do anything you want. Go take them down to the West Bottoms or Liberty Memorial or Luce Park, and just go practice. You have to make the mistakes to learn from them. I went to YouTube University. I have zero college. I took videography in high school, so I have literally nothing as far as photography, except for trial and error, YouTube, and then now 4.5 years experience in the field. So there are a lot of fads that are out there. Right now, people really like this like orangey yellow hue. I don't technically care for it much. And, it's very dark and moody and all that kind of stuff. And, pick your style and stick with it. I mean, people are going to choose you for that. I specifically I tell people I enhance photos. I'm going to edit. It's going to look better than it is out of camera, but you want to take a good picture in camera and then enhance it. I don't want to change it and make it look totally different. And now your skin is orange when it shouldn't be orange, or it's green or something like that. So I try to stick with like a timeless look. Now, your style is going to change, especially from early on to, as you're growing and learning and all that kind of stuff. But I try to stay true to, the timeless look. I don't just go with, hey, this is the fad that's going on right now. I kind of go with, this is what's going to look good now. This is what's going to look good in 10 years. It's going to look good in 50 years. So as you're looking back, you might not like your hair when you're, 85 and you're like, why did I let my hair be like that? But, the coloring and styling of your photo should still be something that is natural, natural and enhanced, if you will. Yeah, I think that's it.
That was really good. Yeah. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. If students want to look up your business and your photography, where can they go to?
Yeah, so I have a website, Instagram, and a Facebook. Everything is NKG Imagery. I'm Nathan Gilmore. It's easier to search that because everyone's like, MK? I'm like, no, NK. So Nathan, now Corey, Gilmore Imagery. It's Image RY. But yeah, follow me on Facebook, Instagram. You can't really follow my website, but you can go there and check out some more of my work. And yeah, if you guys have questions, feel free to, shoot me a message. Don't email me. I don't like email. So just slide into my DMs and make it happen that way, or shoot me a message on Facebook. You'll get to me a lot faster than doing an email.